I'm Amy LaFager, and I'm in the online section of HCI 450. I conducted my research on interactive multimedia and the impact on learning. What is interactive multimedia? In their 2004 article, Neo and Neo define multimedia as the combination of various digital media types such as text, images, sound, and video into an integrated multisensory interactive application or presentation to convey a message or information to an audience. This presentation is a multimedia presentation because I combined video with audio narration, images, and text. This presentation would become an interactive multimedia presentation if you were able to navigate through the presentation, or if you could post questions to chat with me or to your classmates during my presentation. David DeBattista directed the creation of a digital learning object to help students better understand the underlying probability of the Monty Hall dilemma. This digital learning object is freely available. The Monty Hall dilemma is based after the game show Let's Make a Deal, where contestants are offered the opportunity to win a car by selecting one of 3 doors. The underlying probability has a counterintuitive solution, and students often find the probability behind it difficult to understand. When students navigate through this digital learning object, they first encounter instructions for how the Monty Hall dilemma game works.
The host of a game show selects Jane to be a contestant on stage.
After the student goes through the basic introduction, they are then able to play the game themselves to understand the probability of when they switched doors or when they stayed with the original selection and whether or not they won a car. Students are able to get hands-on experience interacting with the content for the Monty Hall dilemma to get a better understanding of the underlying probability of either staying or switching doors when making the selection. Who can use interactive multimedia? Laura Foote describes the course content in her 2013 article for the half-credit elective course she developed on crisis communication. She had her MBA students interact with and create multimedia content to learn how to effectively communicate in a crisis management situation. Tierney Lyons wrote about a small study she conducted with 34 of her undergraduate nursing students to determine if using VoiceThread audio and video responses to discussion prompts in her research methods course improved understanding and engagement over traditional written discussion board responses. Chen and Sun conducted a study in 2012 of 160 Taiwanese students in grade 5 to determine if different types of multimedia affected the emotions and performance of visual learners and verbal learners. Anyone can use interactive multimedia in order to enhance their learning. What are the benefits of interactive multimedia? Chow, Parker, and Fontana wrote about a social media tool that was created to allow students to interact with course content in their 2011 article. Utilizing social media functions allows students to be more participatory during the lecture by allowing the use of chat with classmates, the ability to submit a question to the instructor, and the ability for students to nominate posted questions to be answered. DeBattista's study of the effectiveness of the Monty Hall dilemma digital learning object had 189 undergraduate students participating. The interactive digital learning object helps students better understand and apply the correct reasoning when solving the Monty Hall dilemma. He notes that participants who never accessed the learning object almost always chose the correct strategy, but they could rarely explain it. Lyons notes in her study that digital storytelling allows students to more clearly express themselves than with traditional written word. The students were able to engage with one another by providing feedback to the voice threads posted in response to the discussion prompts. Students become more engaged in the learning process when collaborative learning is emphasized. What are potential issues with interactive multimedia? Maria Bannert notes in her 2006 study that students that direct their own learning in a hypermedia environment may not improve learning outcomes because too much freedom to direct learning can be disorienting to students and they may miss important information. While students in Lyons' small study did have a positive experience, some expressed issues with using the VoiceThread software. Students were asked to learn how to use a new software during an accelerated research course, which made some students frustrated. In Chen and Sun's study, they note that people with different learning styles may have a negative effect on their ability to learn when interactive multimedia is used that is inappropriate for a particular style of learning. What are the implications for human-computer interaction? Some things to consider when designing interactive multimedia is to provide appropriate feedback. The content needs to be easy to navigate and learn how to use so students can focus on learning the topic rather than learning how to use the software. The content of the interactive multimedia object needs to be appropriate to meet the learning goals. These are the references for the research that I cited during this presentation, and these are the image credits for the images that I used in this presentation. Thank you.